Good morning. How you doing today? Real quick, we're gonna do a fast little segment on canning. I picked some green beans from my yard, but I only got 2 pints, so I'm going to can tomatoes and my green beans all together. It says you can do it. It's fine. Just I have to go because I'm gonna do pints. I'm gonna can them for 20 minutes, but I'm going to be pressure canning. So when you're pressure canning or canning, you can water bath can tomatoes, but you can also pressure can them. And I do have a pressure canner, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I already got one jar started. What I did is because my tomatoes were coming in very slowly, I just took and tossed them all in a freezer bag and froze them. And then when I get enough, so I had 2 pint bags frozen, I thaw them out, and then the skins pop right off of them. Some people don't take the skins off. Some people do. I like to take the skins off of them and dehydrate them, and then I'll make tomato powder, which I will show you that also. So basically, the setup is right here. We have our tomatoes, and this is for our tomato skins. We have our rings and lids, our canning salt, which is optional if you want it or not. I don't put it in the beans, but I do put it in the tomatoes. And we have our lemon juice because you need to add a tablespoon of lemon juice for the canned tomatoes. And then we have our jars ready. And hopefully you can see that. That is our canner. So what I do, and it's not really called rebel canning, but I've been doing this for years, like over 40 years, 47, maybe almost 50 years. I don't know. Probably about 48 years. Anyways, so when you take the tomatoes out of the bags, you can see, let me get you down here where you'll be able to see what's going on. So this is the tomato. There's the core. I don't core them first. I take them and pull back and see the skin slide right off. And then if you pinch a little bit, you can get the core. And then I just take, let me back this up a little bit. Okay. And then I just take it, go it this way. Now we can see. And then I take and pinch it off into the jar because you don't have to cook them. They're already pretty much done. And then it's like crushed tomatoes or whatever you want to do to them. And then I save the peels. I just take and throw them in another jar. If the core acts like it's going to be a little bit hard, you can take the knife and get that underneath it if you want. And then just take and squeeze a little bit, and then it'll come out. The tomato, and then again, tomato peel. So this core is going to be a little stubborn, so we'll just give it a little cut out of there with our knife. And just lay it down. But again, you can just take it, you can try to cut it off. They're a little smushy right now. And then you can just take it, pop off the skins, real easy. And then there's the core, and you can cut it out. If they're little enough, you can just, oops, that one was tough. You can leave them. It's not going to bother them, but I wouldn't leave the big cores in there. And if you want to take and just pull it off and the core and then stick it in with what you're going to dehydrate, you can do that. Some of these tomatoes are Romas, and some of them, I have a few cherries stuck in there. There's just like a little bit of everything in there. So I just take all the peels. There's the core, squeeze it, and then goes the tomato. Again, take it, stick it in. Some of them are harder than others. Some of them are easy. Let's pull that off, pull off the core, and drop in the tomato. So I'm going to finish these up, and I will be back with you in a minute. Hi, I'm back. Um, this is the water that came off of the tomatoes that were frozen. So I'm going to discard that. Let me get rid of that so it's out of the way. Okay, now we're going to take, and I like to put a tablespoon of lemon juice in each of my tomatoes. Okay, set that to the side. And then I like to put, this is canning salt. I buy that, and I'll tell you, it lasts forever because I don't use a lot of salt in a lot of stuff that I can. But I do like to put it in my tomatoes. So put half a teaspoon each one of those. Like I said, I do not put salt in my green beans, only because Harley eats those, and so a lot of sodium is not good for dogs. So I don't put that in there. And then after you get everything done, put in there like you want. Then I just take a paper towel, a little bit of vinegar, and then I wipe off the tops. So make sure there's nothing on there. The green beans, all they have in there is water, and that's all. And though, like I said, I didn't have a lot of neither one of them. And I looked it up, and it says it's safe to can both of them. So green beans, you only need to go at, I believe it was 15, 20 minutes. I don't know. And then the other one was vice versa. So you would go with the 20 minutes for the longest one, the one that takes the longest to can. So let's put all the lids on, fingertip tight for the rings. And I reuse my rings over and over, but it's not really good to reuse your lids because you're taking a chance on those not sealing. And I don't usually use a certain kind of a lid for the simple fact that most of the time they all seal. But so bring it down a little bit. That's it. That's all of them. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to set them all in the canner. It's cold water because all these are cold. And then mine's electric Nesco canner, and I love it. And so we're going to pressure can, because you can pressure can or water bath the tomatoes, but you need to pressure can the green beans. So we're going to go at 20 minutes. Sorry for the noise. And then you just push start, real easy. Real easy. Make sure that it's open to vent, because you want it to vent, and then after it beeps, it'll tell you, and you close the vent, and then it'll start pressure can, and then it stops. So what I'm going to do now is move some of this stuff around. And I'll show you real quick. Bring it back down here again. Make a little room. Got a little work area here today. So, still? Okay, that's good. So now these are all the tomato peels that I popped off of the tomatoes. So I'll just take and lay all these out here on my dehydrator. I cut these myself, as you can tell, and they're stained, but I guarantee you they're all clean. So just lay all the tomato peels out like this. And then you'll run the dehydrator. This is my dehydrator shelves. And you'll run the dehydrator. And this is from the other one that I put on when I got the other ones ready earlier. So that's what they're going to look like. And then move this over for a second. And coming right back, guys. Sorry. It's a little messy here. So this is my dehydrator. I've shown that before. It's the Elite Gourmet Dehydrator. I've had this, I don't know, for at least 5-6 years. So I have 2 trays of that. And then I started dehydrating oranges. I like to make summer pots for Christmas and give them. My grandson absolutely loves them. I put some cinnamon sticks and lemons, oranges, and star anise, I guess that's how you say it, and a few cloves in there. And then you put it in a pot, and then you simmer it, and in the simmer pot, and makes the house smell really nice. Okay, we're gonna stop for right now. We'll be back. Hi everybody, I'm back. Got a little sidetracked yesterday, had a lot of errands to run, so I didn't come on and finish showing you in the canner the things that I had finished. So I'll show you real quick. So we have our green beans that we can. They're all canned and they're sealed. So now I just have to wash the jars a little bit. And when you're canning, you're going to want to make sure that you take all the rings off and store them like that. Because if they do go bad, the lids will pop and you won't end up eating bad food. But if they stay sealed, they're good. And I've got beans from last year. I have like 2 pints left. So, and they're still going strong. And then I wanted to talk to you real quick about canning tomatoes. So when you can tomatoes and you take them out, they're going to look like this a lot of times. So these are all sealed. Everything's fine. So all you're going to do is just give it a little shake and they're going to be fine. So this one was the same way. And I gave it a shake and there we go. So again, you're going to want to make sure you take the bands off. Do not leave those on. And if something happens and they do go bad, the lids will pop off or pop up and you'll know that they're no good then. So I end up with 2 pints of tomatoes and 2 pints of green beans. So then I was talking to you yesterday about the dehydrating the peels. So my dehydrator broke, but luckily my grandson, which is an adult, let me use his. We have the same ones. And he likes to make beef jerky and different things like that on there. But you'll see, I don't know, let me turn this thing off so you can maybe hear it. how the tomato peels have gotten all crunchy. So they're crunchy now. They're all done. So all we do is take them and put them inside my Ninja, which is very loved, very well loved. And then you grind them up. So, and then you take and let them go get powdered. And then you save the, let me get this where you can see it. You save the powder and you can use it to thicken soups and chilies and anything else you want to thicken up. But yeah, so these are all done, and I'm going to get them all into this container, and I'll be right back. So in the Ninja, this is how much we got. I made a mess, but that's okay. I do well at making messes. So I'm going to grind it up, and I'll show you how much we end up with. All right. We got that all done. And this is how much we got. It's not a lot, but, and it smells so good, so good. So what I do is I have this little jar. I add it in. It's just the same jar, and I just keep adding into it. But for the most part, it's gone, by within the next few weeks, because that's an old lid. But I just keep putting it into there. And then whenever I make chili, because I do a lot of chili and soups in the fall, so I like to use that then and just dump it in. And that's about all of it. Then just pop the lid back on. See, it's very pretty. So the whole idea in this is you don't waste anything. So you're taking your tomatoes. These are the tomatoes I have right now. Let me get you around here. But these are the tomatoes I have now that I got out of my yard. They're cherry tomatoes. So you take any tomatoes, cherry tomatoes if you want. They're smaller, but they're a little bit harder to work with. You can use those, regular tomatoes, Romas. I like San Marzano, but for some reason, all this rain we're getting, we have gotten so much rain. My San Marzanos are all busting before, and I'm picking them when they get bigger. But if I don't get them right before they start to turn, they're busting. So you can take a tomato and you can make it into canned tomatoes, or you can take and make it into, and take the peels and make tomato powder out of it. So the only thing that's really wasted on the tomato that you don't use, it's not wasted, you just don't use it, is the little teeny core. So I'm going to take these tomatoes, and I like to make this recipe my daughter told me about. You cut up the tomatoes, and I got some fresh cucumbers, and you cut up onion, and then mix it together, and you put it over rice. And it's really good. That's really good. So we're doing that. And then I had showed you the other day that we're dehydrating. I'm finishing this because I don't like to run the dehydrator without a full load. So these are almost done. I dehydrate these oranges, and then I make simmer pots for Christmas, and I give them away. I make little baskets for like my realtor, my someone I used to work with, just different people. The lady, my insurance broker, I make her a little basket, and I like to add these things in. So I'm working on those now, and that's about it. I will touch on this real quick. this is my sourdough starter. I killed my other one that I had for like 3 years. And, but what I had done is I took some of it out before I killed it, of course, and I dehydrated it and I put it in a jar. Well, luckily that I did, because I killed my sourdough starter. So now I'm rehydrating this one, and it's coming along. I think I'm on the third day now. It's starting to get bubbly. Woo! I spilled it. So it's getting there. But I'll let you know how that goes. All right, this is gonna end this video. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you like the content or like the video, please like, share, subscribe, and everything else. And again, I watch YouTube videos all the time, all the time in the evening. I watch a couple of shows in the evening, those game shows, and then I watch YouTube's. And you can learn so much off of those. So I'm hoping that there's maybe something you didn't know, or maybe an idea. Like I said, I'm not a professional canner. Um, I do a lot of my recipes. I go by the Ball Book of Canning, and I use those. I have two of them, two different kinds. Or if I'm in a hurry, I just ask Alexa. She'll tell me. So, anyways, I hope you have a great day, and thanks again for hanging out with me. Bye bye.